I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
I hope I can help. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Farewell.
May you rest in peace.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust. Wind. Dude.
I'm too old for this shit.
Don't you understand, Steven?
Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
Aim for the cat, dude. Aim for the cat. I'm trying, Evil Ted. I'm trying.
Mockery.
Oh, Master, I do not trust you. I cannot trust you or anyone ever.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. It is Saturday night, and you know what that means. The Sith are out. So it's Saturday night Sith time. I am your host, Jay Hitman. Fractured Filter. I'm getting us mixed up already. I am Fractured Filtered. With me, as always, Jay Hitman, who is as currently CEO Pippin Hot Donkey Water LLC.
Piping hot.
Donkey. Sorry, Piping Hot
Donkey Water. It's okay.
My reading comprehend. I did go to California public schools, so you know they weren't always the best, even in the 90s. So what can I say? Reading comprehension, not always great. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Well, I had two titles. I was going, two titles I was going to go with. One, my company, Hot Donkey Water LLC. But I was thinking about CEO of Chinese air balloon captain.
Oh, you mean the thing they finally shot down?
They actually shot down after it had gone through the entire United States. But I probably spelled pipe. Maybe I'm from California too. I think I spelled piping hot. Piping. Whatever.
It don't matter. None of this matters. It's all good. Yeah, so we are already off. Tonight is, tonight is gonna be a night for sure.
PSA, if you are in any way easily offended, this is your chance.
Well, considering this is being hosted on a channel that's called The Fractured Filter, where our show is called Saturday Night Sith, I would think that there wouldn't be a need for any warning labels, but hey, I've been known to be wrong before. But yes,
all right. This is my other company.
Oh, are you gonna go after the poor seals, the poor Sarlacc brains that keep consuming all the garbage out there?
Oh man, is there any other warning we want to get go ahead and get out in the open before.
I mean,
we
it is
start.
just basically yes. If you are of weak constitution, this may not be the episode for you. Because I can already tell Hitman he's chomping at a bit of the bit there.
Well, I think so. Should we like go over all that we want? Like, just give a brief description of what we are all going to cover tonight. I mean, there's a lot to
So
cover.
yeah,
and
of course, of course we've got the Bad Batch episode, which again wasn't much of an episode, but we'll go over probably really quick. Then there was of course the announcement about what will be taking place at Star Wars Celebration 2023 in Europe, which, considering it's Europe, doesn't surprise me. Then there's the Wikipedia shenanigans. Probably lesser in the scheme of things, but still just as ridiculously stupid as CEO not my Star Wars celebration. Yeah, exactly. Then it's just some of the typical news that finally decides to come out about the ongoing quote unquote civil war at Disney Lucasfilm between Favreau and Kennedy. That nonsense, because just in time for Mandalorian season 3 coming out. Otherwise, that's kind of the quickie, so to speak, of what we will be covering tonight. Because for all the it's kind of funny. It's like for the most part, a lot of the news has been mild. Although I gotta say, it's funny that I clipped out our segment from last week.
Yeah.
The Mark Hamill I called it Mark Hamill gets into Twitter trouble. Man, I gotta say that video's been doing decently well for us.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the it's funny how silly drama and stuff like that really kicks off, and really that was so low on the totem pole considering how stupid it was for something like a Twitter gets you the torch and pitchforks out for something so stupid. But I mean, this week it's like everything just exploded all at once, and it was funny. I was listening to the spacing from last night, and Tim was certainly gloating over the fact of he was the first to report on some of the news that had come out, especially in regards to the Star Wars Celebration. Which, hey, my hat's off to him. More kudos to whoever could be the quick draw on some of this news dropping, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and if nobody does or has, definitely head on over to Open Airlock. I'll put the link to his channel in the chat. Great channel, especially if you are looking for more
I'd say if you're looking
Star
for
Ware
more
lore
offensive content, if you're looking for more offensive content than what we give you each Saturday night, go holler. go sit through an episode. I mean that with the utmost respect to Tim. Tim, just talking to him, through Twitter and just the exposure that I've had with him, dude's solid, and he does not care, and he does not pull any punches, and he is, one of the guys that I would much rather, aside from you, be in this fight with, because at the end of the day, it's not about how many followers you have. It's not about how many, t-shirts you can sell on your
store or whatever
store, or how many theory videos you can do. It's about taking the fight to these to Disney and these people,
these
that
weirdos that are that have
these people,
infested it
because
and climbed their way into the whole situation.
There, contrary to what many people might think, like there's a bigger war at hand. This isn't like, oh well, we're just going to create characters. No, this is taking a woke agenda, infiltrating Star Wars, and using Star Wars as a vessel to push their ideology.
It's as it is. It's the culture war, right? It is
a battle of just, I love Jordan Peterson. If anybody doesn't know who Jordan Peterson is, he's a professor from the University of Toronto, and he does not care.
Or Kermit the Frog.
Jordan Peterson. Have you heard of him?
I know of him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is Kermit the Frog.
Oh yeah. But he
all right, go ahead.
He's just, man, he's very, he's very intelligent, and he doesn't put up, University of Toronto basically said, if you in Canada, if you don't, there's this it was not using pronouns was a form of hate speech, and you could get arrested for
God,
it. And
I remember.
At university, he refused to do it, and he went and held these meetings and these,
he and some other people were really trying to put up a good front. Last I knew, unfortunately, though, it just went to hell in a handbasket. And sadly, Canada is no longer the very friendly place that we used to just kind of poke fun at for overly apologizing with Suri. Now it's called, if you cut your finger even a little bit, it's called well, you're gonna have to go the way of old Yeller, I'm afraid. I'm like, bring back the old Canada, please.
It's just but it is it's a war, man. They're using Star Wars to push their agenda, and then
absolutely.
If you don't believe me, then that's fine. You don't have to, but I mean that's what it comes down to. So
and that was the whole thing that a lot of us saw. The name they still like to invoke, which was the old Gamergate days.
And
they love that's where, for some, I mean, I know, like myself, I ignored a lot of the media, a lot of the gaming media and stuff like that, and I knew it was bad, and I knew there's dumb shit going on, but not to the extent that, like, once that all popped off, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of shit going on in this industry, more than I really was super aware of. And this is the same. It's just like it is. They get in, they infiltrate, they get their slimy mitts on the things that we've loved and enjoyed so much, and they've done what only
Star Wars is. Before I got on, I was like, do I want to just go out and say it? Or do I want to hold on to a sliver of hope? But after seeing everything, so I think this is how we structure the show. So at 4:17, I think you and I decide that this episode was Donkey Water, since I'm the CEO of Donkey Water LLC. And then we move on to I don't know. I'm not gonna say more important topics, but how do you want it? Do we want to go through the show first, or do we want to save that after? Because I don't have anything really good to say about the show. Gungy makes me grungy.
I guess we will just knock out the episode really quick. I mean, it's like, again, okay, so Bad Batch.
Where was Grungy and Kenobi? Can I just ask that question?
Huh?
Where was Gungy in?
He might have been a name on the wall. Who knows? Well, no. He
survived Order 66. Yeah, no, but I'm talking about in Kenobi, that scene of Order 66 where Grogu is supposedly, there was those two scenes, one with Reva with her PTSD escaping, and then the other gave you a shot of like potentially Grogu seeing the Jedi or the troopers killing everybody.
Yeah.
But so I don't know where Gungy. Well, somebody said that he was one of the Jedis that survived Order 66.
Right.
Clearly,
because he was in it. They had him in an episode of Rebels. They had him in an episode of Clone Wars, where Ahsoka was taking them to get their lightsaber crystals and stuff. And he had at the time I think a wooden lightsaber too.
Like, he still has it,
or kind of like a wooden design and stuff. No, okay, I just didn't see it so well.
Was it the Roka tree? Where it was made
like a Roka tree or something like that.
Yeah. No, I want to know where it's just so stupid. And like I said, anybody, like, you can have your opinion, you can like whatever you want. That's fine. I'm not trying to take that away from you. But once again, we are now 6 episodes deep in this season, and yet again we have another episode that doesn't advance the story
at all.
I don't know what the deal is with Filoni, his fetish between Trandoshan's and Wookiees. Like, I understand that like within canon, within EU, that's a thing. I get it. But once again, it's another episode of Trandoshans and Wookiees, and trying to find this like, again, start of the episode. You know, like, why are they selling this part, and why are they and how did the Trandoshans find Gungi? You know, you have to sit there and be like, okay,
yeah, they didn't quite. They only said that
the show. The
thing was like the only thing that got addressed was that whoever wanted Genji wanted him alive. And we don't even know. This is the thing. Like, it wasn't elaborated upon on who the buyer was. For all we knew, for all we could have known, it was like Bail Organa, rescuing, for all we knew, through this black market to keep it kind of hush hush, Jedi and stuff to get them to safety. For all we knew, that was why Genji was there. It just so happened to be this weird organization being run by droids for some reason. But that was like the only thing. And then, like, it is, they can't seem to keep a goddamn leash on freaking Omega. These adults are not adults. It's like, even though like Rhino has called it is babysitters in space, they are the worst babysitters ever.
What's that movie with like Tom Selleck, Tom Cruise? Was it or not Tom Cruise? It was like Tom Selleck. It was like the babysitters, like three dads babysitting.
Oh yeah, 3 men. There was 3 men and a baby, and 3 men and a little lady.
I think it's 3 men and a baby. I think
it's both of them. There was 2 of them. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically that. Anyway, yeah. So they get onto that space station. Seems to be really small space station, even though it's really big. There was the Wookiee being smuggled, and I swear they need to put a leash on Omega. Then they basically blast their way out of this place. Again, there seems to be no repercussion for their failed mission, essentially, because they were bringing in, what was the
fee?
I guess for free or for Sid. I don't know who sent them.
Well, Sid, we haven't seen Sid since she bunked off with her Thanos boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh no, did she? No, she didn't.
She didn't bunk.
They came
off,
back. They came back afterwards.
That's the last episode where she.
No. But no. What was it? The the chain codes. The chain codes. Yeah. That's right. They were dealing in the chain codes. But even though that they were going off to do this, and even though that the whole thing basically got botched. There doesn't seem to be any repercussions for their failed missions. But we get a trip to Kashyyyk. And of course, this is always such a bizarre thing, considering that, you know, they always want to portray the Empire as alien hating and stuff like that. But at the same time, here we have them, the Empire now at this moment, at least, working with the Trandoshans to hunt down like Wookiees and stuff like that. Okay. Because I was like,
Uncle Chewbacca in this episode, dude.
I was kind of some other
Uncle
people's
Tarful.
questions too, like Tarful and stuff like that. Yeah, there none of that. Just this one little tribe of Wookiees that again happened to have a female chieftain. So they had it was again a filler nothing episode, because I mean they get through it all. But the funny thing is, like, even though like it felt like it abruptly went to the end, because I could swear like this, like the way the pacing of this episode was going, that it was going to be like a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Until like suddenly it's called, Oh, they're fighting the Trandoshans. Oh, they've beaten the Trandoshans. Oh, big fire. Oh no. Oh, guess what? We put it out already. And then that's basically it. They celebrate. They have a good old time. I kind of laughed though because the Genji was kind of on a going after the Trandoshan, and I was like, "Good little Wookiee Jedi, feel the hate, give in to your anger." But then the Trandoshan became spider food, and that's how I was like, "Okay, that's perfect. That's what I'll use for the thumbnail." Which if anybody hadn't seen it, let me pull it up really quick. And I use the quote from Batman Begins: "I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you." And I put I fiddle farted around enough, and my brother was like, "No, cut the bottom out from underneath the hood, the cowl, and that'll be perfect." And I did it, and I adjusted. He's like, "Yes, there you go."
It would have been a better episode if they had shown the Kinrath like eating the guy instead of just taking him up to,
Well, like I said, it was then just so silly because then it just abruptly ends with them suddenly putting out the fire,
and
then they're back at the little hut having drinks. All right.
Anybody who has heard us say that Filoni is a trash panda, for amongst other reasons, so in this episode, this also again proves why he's a trash panda, because I think the early comics, Dark Horse comics, Trandoshan's or Boba Fett or I forget if it was a Trandoshan, somebody used fire against the Wookiees because obviously Wookiees are extremely strong. Yeah, extremely strong, and that's one of their opposed to like the Trandoshan, scaly, skin, whatever.
Right.
But like, so I just found it funny that like, oh, okay, like you obviously know somewhat of like either you're just happen to be smart and just bring fire into it, or
it also works. Hang on, I have a good meme too because it also works against Jedi. Yeah. Lightsaber deflects lasers and blocks projectiles. Mandalorians, parry this, you filthy wizard.
Yeah. I mean, but like for like a Mandalorian, sure, but Trandoshan having a Elon Musk style flamethrower,
right, yeah.
I don't know. Like next week, I'm not going to be on the show. I'm 1,000% skipping the show next week if there's a 2.
Oh, because of the 2-parter. Oh, shut up.
No, like it's.
The thing is, The thing is, though, is that they're really better.
Right. They will start. This will start.
Really better be something that happens.
No,
because
I'm telling you right now, the last 4 episodes are when the story is going to continue. So there's 12. So what was that? Like 9. Episode 9, Crosshair is going to come back. Like I doubt. Like they keep doing filler episodes until like the last couple. Is my feeling.
It almost seems like it's gonna be like that. Yeah. It's really ridiculous the way they've horribly paced out this show with their episodes. I don't even know if they really planned it, considering I heard they pushed back the episodes too, and it's like there feels like there has been no planning for this whatsoever. Just none.
It's like whoever, I don't know if Filoni's directing this. I don't know who's like got their hands in the pot. I'm sure Filoni in some capacity because of the animation, but it's like whoever are doing these episodes are literally sat there at their cubicle in LA or Anaheim and wherever Disney, whatever. I'm assuming it's in Anaheim because that's where Disneyland is. But it's like they're sat there listening to Too Much Time on My Hands by Styx, coming up with these episodes and thinking that they can just push this. It's the same pacing as Mando Book of Boba, and the only saving grace that Book of Boba had was that it was funny, but the pacing was like it was terrible. It was like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. Like there's no concept of time. These episodes have no, like they do not advance. Like, why do we need to see Gungi? We've seen this twerp in Rebels. We've seen him in Clone Wars. Like, why bring him back? Like, this is after, like, anybody who knows anything about Star Wars, in his watch your videos, you know what Order 66 was about, and you know that there was at least left you with thinking that there are at least some Jedi that you know escaped. Like, not every single Jedi was killed that night at the temple. Like, that's not a thing, right? But again, like, why do we have to see this? Oh, because he's cute, like Grogu. That's why. There's no concept of time, and these episodes are absolutely terrible, and they do nothing to advance the story. And like, they don't. I hate to say this, but season 1 of Bad Batch, in my opinion, is better than this.
Yeah, that's. I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree. At least. Sorry, go ahead.
And then at the end of this episode, it's like, well, they're just kids that weren't able to, you know, they're just kids that aren't able to be kids. Or I don't know if that was this episode. Yeah, it was this episode, because Gunji is still a baby Wookiee and Omega's an old child that can't seem to stop running. She's like a husky, dude. Literally.
Kind of, yeah. Hey, Rhetorical Thrill. How's it going?
Welcome.
Got you over on the Twitch side, I see. Cool. We're also over here on the YouTubes doing things. She says, I haven't watched any of these Disney shows, and I feel like my mental health has benefited. Yes, absolutely it has. And again, congrats to you, lady, for getting that 1,000 subs and everything.
I did see that. Yes, congratulations.
You earned it for sure. So yeah, definitely saved on your mental health there. No arguments, because it's just, especially with Obi-Wan, good lord. But no, yeah, the season 1, at least they had something that they were you're welcome. Season 1, at least they had something going. They were trying to get something rolling with the whole Omega leaving, the Bad Batch getting established with Sid and their whole network and stuff like that. There just seemed to be more going on and less. There were some filler parts, but there was less of it and more story being drawn out than what they have produced in these 6 episodes so far.
Yeah,
I mean, as silly as it was, like, they had Fennec Shand, make an appearance, but at least that had a purpose for her trying to get to Omega. For was it Lama Su? For that whole side plot. I'll even drop for anyone else also watching. You can go check out Rhetorical Thrills channel. Here you go. This episode, I don't know where they're gonna go after this.
Nowhere. That's exactly where they're going. Nowhere. Nowheresville,
USA.
USA.
Wherever they're wherever the heck their base. I forgot where their base of operations was.
It changes every episode.
Seems that way, right?
Help me understand why, like, how like, again, how people like this, just this show in these episodes, like, I don't get it. Like, are we just old? Are we just,
it makes you feel that way sometimes, right? Like,
because
because you have a degree of standards for what you want to see in a story.
But again, we're gonna get blocked by Wikipedia because we want good content, and this content that they're bringing is trash, and because we say it's trash, we're hate. Like, I don't know.
I'm still not blocked.
Tatooine, because that's where. Yeah.
No, they were on. I think they were on Ord Mantell think that was the place. But yeah, I mean
But
Tatooine is the
Rico's
hot spot
point,
of where everything is.
I mean, she is correct. Everything goes back to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Unless you're in I don't know, Abrams era, where it's like, why does everybody want to go back to Jakku? So it's either Tatooine or Jakku, but we all know that Jakku was just a rip on Tatooine.
It was just Tatooine rip.
It was literally Tatooine with a different name.
Yeah, and it had a crashed Star Destroyer for
somebody
aesthetic look and stuff like that.
Somebody who the thing I'm about to say, where I got it from, because I'm going to use the word theory, but somebody was saying that Sid is the one that hired the Trandoshan's because she's a Trandoshan to kidnap Gungi because they wanted to sell Gungi. As a theory I heard.
Who wanted to sell Gungi?
Sid is a fat.
Oh, Sid was actually the one that was
Trandoshans. Basically, she hired her cousins to kidnap Gungi because she was going to sell Gungi to the Empire to ward to basically make a deal with the Empire. Like, hey, I'm going to give you this Jedi. You leave me and my operations alone. I think she's gonna. Well, here there's a twofold.
I think that's being played. I think that's playing off of that racing episode. Sure, but
it's twofold though, right?
I don't think there's any link between her and this whole Wookiee kidnapping and stuff.
Well, think about it though,
because there was nothing that linked. Because she would have used the Bad Batch to do it.
Watch this though. Think of it like this, right? She would 1000% turn on the Bad Batch and sell them off to the Empire to protect her business, right? Or if she has a soft spot for Omega, she gets her cousins that are worthless to find this Jedi and somehow make a deal with the Empire and just not say anything about the Bad Batch. So she can keep her relationship with the Bad Batch, but still make her money and protect her business because she's still a shyster. She's still from New York.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, but I mean, think about it. So it's like she can just full on just betray the Bad Batch,
right?
Go that route, or she can not betray the Bad Batch, but hold up to her. You're
foreshadowing that a bit, where that's going to be a possibility. Yeah.
Well, she still has to maintain her reputation as a New York shyster Trandoshan, so she's got to portray somebody. So why not betray a Jedi because the Bad Batch can still benefit her, right? She can still oh yeah, I have a soft spot for them, but still use them to, it's an ends that it is a way that what's the saying? It's a way to make ends meet.
The ends justify the means.
Ends justify the means. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad that was what you were getting at.
Well, it'd be stupid. Like I said, it'd be stupid to sell them out, right? Yeah, you could potentially get the Empire off your back for a little bit. The keyword,
but only for a little bit, yeah.
Right? Or somehow come up with a way not to sell them off, so you can still use them because they are, in a sense, to her at least, valuable.
Right.
That's giving them a lot of credit, by the way. But I don't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, and like I said.
I don't think that her cousins though, because they're all in shape Trandoshans. There's not. I didn't see a singular fat.
Not a short fat one in sight.
Not a short fat Trandoshan in sight.
No, like I said, I mean, even try to compare this to old A-Team episodes and stuff like that. This falls so short in terms of, like I said, the pacing of it. It was just so mishandled. Like I said, the way it was going, almost a Trandoshan, only because of and this is the thing. Is this gonna actually lead into the 2-parter next week? Because you just basically disrupted an Imperial operation.
Yeah.
Isn't that gonna get them on your backs even more? I mean, they keep doing for a group of guys that is essentially trying to lay low and be out of the sight of the Empire. They're doing a hell of a lot to get their attention right now.
It's because Omega is a husky. You have a husky. They call them wandering huskies for a reason.
Well,
she can't stop wandering. and she can't stop putting her
Like
nose
I
in.
said, they need to get a freaking leash
No,
on
it
it.
doesn't make any sense. They're trying to make this show make sense. Like the logical thing to do with this show is to just go hide, but you can't make a show based off characters that just hide from the Empire.
She keeps disobeying any, like, I guess you could say orders and
Where's
stuff like that, but it's like,
Django needs to they need to bring Django back from the dead and really get his whatever it is. If you ask Wikipedia, maybe Django's a female now. Get Omega in line. Watch, I'm checking my Twitter actively to see if I've been blocked.
I haven't. I'm still somehow unblocked.
Just saying, maybe Django has pronouns on his.
I
don't know. I'm not. It's just.
I mean, the whole thing it's just part of it is also kind of comes off as so forced the way they get into the situations and stuff like that. It's like, at least
has anybody looked at? I'm very curious, really quick. Has anybody looked up just for verification, right? If we look up Omega on Wikipedia, because all of season 1, you and I were trying to figure out what, like, it's pretty well established she's a female, but I'm curious, like, what they have put on her profile.
I know. I heard about that on the spacing from last night that you got blocked too. I'm like, what? So rhetorical thrill. They blocked me, and I've never mentioned them ever. LOL. Yeah.
How did you get blocked?
She said last night she's never talked about anything Star Wars, and yeah, she's got blocked. Well, they suspected it's because she's gonna pop up on the spacing. It's very possible.
Species, human, gender, female, pronouns, she, her, height, roughly 11 meters. That's racist. She's not 1.1 meters. Hair color, blonde, eye color, brown, skin, tan. Let's look. Okay, so real quick, I just want to look up Django's profile.
Gender, questionable.
Django Fett. Hold on. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, so did I. When I heard that, I laughed. I had kind of stifled.
Gender unknown.
I was listening during work. Wait, what?
Gender unknown.
Are you being real?
Species human. Gender unknown. Height 1.83 meters. Mass 79 kilograms. Hair color black. Eye color brown. Skin color tan.
For real. This is for Django?
Django Fett. I wonder.
I'm looking at it right now.
Got you. Made you look. You would have lost your mind.
Har.
Do you think? Oh yeah, they haven't blocked me. Do you think that Wikipedia is just going to like Tim's page or OG, like just blocking anybody and everybody that follows these guys?
Well, that's what I mean, I follow OG Star Wars and I follow Open Airlock.
Should I follow
Raging
Wikipedia?
Rhino.
Should I follow them?
I started following Wikipedia as well just to see what the hell would happen. I haven't received anything. So
why can't we get on this whitelist? Like, what do we have to do to get on this whitelist? I do not understand. I've been talking crap. Not been talking crap. I've been dropping bars, as the kids say, on Disney for 53 episodes, and I have not a one time got any. I guess I need to step up my Twitter game. I've not been blocked a single time. OG has so many badges of honor on her wall from when she's been blocked by people. Like,
well, you know that I don't see. This is my thing. Like I'll admit it, and I don't care because I like being within my quote unquote little echo chamber. I like this, mingling with the people that I enjoy talking with, or at least commenting on. So that's why I'll say it. Like, I don't have like some of these badges of honor and stuff like that are getting blocked by so many people. I usually just kind of stick to my own field, and I'm very selective on when I do comment and stuff like that. But like, I know they have blockchains and stuff like that a lot of these little pages create. that will just automatically start silent or blocking people. So I'm like, it is. I'm just kind of surprised I haven't been hit, considering I follow all the quote unquote wrong people. But like it is, I just don't, don't start that much shit. I feel like I need to though. Maybe that'll get us out there a little more. But yeah, I mean, so I guess so we're done with the episode, right? Episode sucked. Filler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get Rhetorical Thrills' opinion. Did you like the episode?
Like she said, she hasn't been watching this Disney stuff, so she's completely out of the loop.
So sounds like a solid 0 out of 0
across the board.
0 out of 12. Recommend. Not.
All right. So shall we get into? Can we start? Okay. I have something that I just found before our show got going. It's a positive thing. Okay, she's with you. 0 out of 12 seems fair.
Let's go.
There we go.
Currently subscribing to your channel right now.
Boom. There you go. Check out her Tremors review. I love that because it's always fun to see a person watching that movie in particular for the first time. And her most recent one, which was Puss in Boots 2, makes me want to watch that movie. I haven't watched any of those in so long.
Done.
So I'm gonna start with something a little bit positive before we get our blood boiling again. But like I said, I found this. What did you find? No. This. I didn't even get a chance to throw it into Discord. This is a Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 Unreal Engine Release 1.0 trailer, basically. And I'll put the links in the description and stuff like that for anybody that wants to go and check it out for themselves. But it looks really cool.
You should have saved this for after.
I thought about that, but I really want to go over this really quick before we get into.
You just should have saved it because we're all going to be.
Should we save it then? We'll do it. Okay, we'll do.
Well, it depends on how you want to. How do we want to spend our Saturday night? Do we want to leave the show just being utterly pissed off?
No, you're right. You're actually right.
That's the Sith way. Go ahead and do it now.
Okay, do it now.
Wow. I don't know, man. How on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is it? Save it to the end.
About an 8.
Save it to the end.
Okay, save it to the end. All right. So, on to it. Where do we want to tackle first? So we've already been talking about Wikipedia. I guess we'll launch into that.
Well, So when I just very curious when this started. Was it this week that they started doing this?
Yes, it was this week that they started dropping this whole pronoun.
It's all very interesting. That
pronouns, yeah.
Iger comes back on all this stuff. Now, I don't know if Wikipedia is a subsidiary of Disney. I don't know if Disney licensed.
No, Wikipedia is just a place that has been. If you want a deeper dive on this, Open Air, they did a deep dive on it last night for open on the spacing, but no, this dropped this week. I'll bring up you shared this in the Discord.
Yeah.
You may have noticed a few field popping up in our info boxes lately. We are now listing characters' pronouns. It is always important to keep in mind that pronouns do not necessarily reflect gender, and by doing this, we will be more accurate and respectful.
So I want to start off with this if I can. Or you start off.
No. Hey, okay. I talk enough. You by all means, you got the floor.
Here's the thing. So they're saying we are now listing characters' pronouns. It is always important to keep in mind that pronouns do not necessarily reflect gender, but by doing this, we will be more accurate and respectful. So take the young chap Cody, right? Did they ask Cody what he identifies as? Did they get with Mara Jade and ask her if she is a female or male? So this is how stupid this is. it's so mind-boggling how stupid this is. Like, these are made-up characters, and yet you're taking the stance
Well, that's
giving
exact.
these made-up characters
Hang on.
gender.
So this is why I played this at the beginning.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
I mean, it doesn't get any truer than that.
Then you need to insert the don't ask questions, just consume product and get ready for more product. Like, am I the only one that just doesn't understand this? Like, you're literally, you're pushing gender ideology. Like, you're pushing this gender ideology, right?
And what's been funny is they've been really digging their heels in, like, because I've seen hang on, I'm trying to find like. Oh, they've been crying victim, but one of it's been like, they've been like, oh, this has always been in Star Wars, and they had like the Kenobi quote of, when he first bumps into Luke.
But here's the thing.
Oh, of course I know him. He's me. And it's like, but that's just a line. That's just him being obvious. I mean, it's
they're trying to say by doing this we're going to be respectful, but I don't even know. I can't even believe I'm playing to this, but it's like, well, we're doing this to be respectful, but you giving a pronoun to a made up character and don't know what that made up character identifies with is therefore disrespectful. It's the exact
you can't exactly go direct. You're not exactly going to get the fictional character to, unless it is being written by someone to give those, right? That's
unless there's a real Cody that served in the was he the 212, 218? Was he the 212?
I don't remember the exact regiment he was.
Whatever. It's like they're made up characters, and you're giving pronouns to made up character. Like, this is so stupid, and like, unless the character is a real character or the person that created the character is still alive, and you ask that person what they did. But even at the end
I guess you'd have to ask.
You're asking somebody what the other thing identifies with. It's so stupid.
I guess you'd have to ask George Lucas, right? He'd be the one. But I mean, even at this point, even he said Disney Star Wars isn't my Star Wars. So there you go. Yeah, and even Bounding into Comics had their article for this. Star Wars Encyclopedia Wikipedia embraces rejection of the truth and deranged pronoun usage on character pages. The unofficial Star Wars Encyclopedia Wikipedia announced they reject truth and embrace the deranged pronoun usage for their character pages. Outlet tweeted out, "You may have noticed a few new fields popping up, which we just looked at now." And they're just basically reiterating that tweet. Because, like they said, it includes a screenshot of Cody's page. Making it clear this change has nothing to do with being accurate, the outlet decided to list Anakin Skywalker's pronouns as she, her at the request of a Twitter user. But even like they discussed on the spacing, it was just to make this one Twitter user happy. They just edited it in Photoshop. It's not actually there.
Anakin's not a female, you mean?
No, Anakin is not a she, her.
Okay.
So the site would also respond to requests from other Twitter users like Grand Animal Thrawn's pronouns to they, them. Again, this was done in Photoshop last I knew, and did not actually change it to they, them last I was aware, but that was certainly something they were kind of pandering to their crowd for sure. Then the user asking for Luke Skywalker wrote, "Need Luke to have the they, he pronouns for at least 1 second," because they were basically having a lark. They were just having a laugh, right? That was kind of but I mean, it just goes to show their own derangement with all this, and it's just also because it's just the kind of power that they wield. But the thing, at least you can, there's like one thing of solace you could take, comfort, whatever in this. They don't have any direct power with the Star Wars brand, because not even the Star Wars brand retweeted them or anything. Last I was made aware.
Was Chrysanthemum is it a female or a male Wookiee asking for a friend?
I think he goes by he, him pronouns.
This is that's a very ugly female Wookiee. If I would not date her.
But God, I mean, yeah,
was even like the most just stupid is they had Yoda on what I'm looking up Yoda. I saw Yoda and they're like species unknown, him, he. I'm like, how?
Well, here's the interesting part of this last article, that I didn't quite get to yet. As Bishop Michael Burbage of the Catholic Diocese of Arlington explains, those asserting a transgender identity and or seeking to transition often adopt new names and pronouns that reflect their desired identity and insist that others must use the chosen names and pronouns. Such use might seem innocuous and even appear to be an innocent way of signaling love and acceptance of a person. In reality, however, it presents a profound crisis. We can never say something contrary to what we know to be true. To use names and pronouns that contradict the person's God-given identity is to speak falsely, he continues. Also, not all the clergy are cucked as hell. That's good. Bishop Burbage then instructs the faithful should avoid using gender-affirming terms or pronouns that convey approval of or reinforce the person's rejection of the truth. It is not harsh or judgmental to decline to use such language. In the broader culture, Catholics may experience significant pressure to adopt culturally approved terminology. However, in no circumstances should anyone be compelled to use language contrary to the truth. The right to speak the truth inheres in the human person and cannot be taken away by any human institution, he boldly proclaims. Attempts by the state, corporations, or employers to compel such language, particularly by threats of legal action or job loss, are unjust. We must love in the truth, and truth must be accurately conveyed by our words. At the same time, clarity must always be at the service of charity as part of the broader desire to move people towards the fullness of the truth, he concludes. Well, I gotta say, he at least got something there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's nice to see at least some of the church isn't completely railroaded by the leftist ideologies. Because Lord knows they've been getting that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it falls right into all this. It's basically like it's come to like they took the line to such a literal levels from the episode of the Mythbusters. I reject your reality and substitute my own. That's effectively what they've been doing. It's rejecting reality and substituting their own in favor of their own fifis. Basically, that's where all this little nonsense for their pronouns and crap like that. Something that is, inherent in language, but not to be taken to such the level of that's your identity.
Yeah. It's just
no, but if you got it, say it. That's
that
was the intention of the fractured filter brand, my friend. This is where you speak your mind.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, it's just very interesting that typically as Iger comes back, and I know, like I said, Wikipedia has nothing to do with Disney, but all this stuff, just now coming out. Like and like I said, the pronoun thing's nothing new, but again, at the start of the show, I said they use Star Wars to push their ideology, and people make the argument. Well, I was reading an article earlier that said there's been homosexuals within Star Wars, and it's like, okay, well, show me where that was. I missed it, and maybe I read a book that I didn't fully, I guess, understand, but every book. Yeah,
there was a couple of characters that I know got mentioned by OG Star Wars last night. I forget, there were a couple of Mandalorians, I think. Where my mind goes to is Juhani from Knights of the Old
Good
Republic, and there was some a little minor controversy at the time too, because BioWare apparently was told to scrub that romance ability for the same sex romance at the time, but otherwise it got reinstated eventually. But that was one that is generally that I always can remember that came up.
You know, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Like, you know, if you want to, again, you believe in pronouns, fine, that's on you. But there is no, like, it's just, you use Star Wars as a vessel to push your agenda, you know. And don't get me started on Celebration. That's
something you want to move into next, then.
Well, it's all very convenient that this has happened this week with Wikipedia doing what they're doing, and then now like Star Wars Celebration.
It does seem oddly like they're lapping over with a lot of these sort of announcements, right?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Could be wrong, but
I mean, who knows? It could just be the timing just happened to be there, but at the same time, it's like these weird little coincidences. This can't be a coincidence, right?
No, like, why not do the timing is just it just stinks, right? Because like this pronoun thing's been going on for a long time. Be it you just choose this week, the same week that you announce that there's going to be a drag panel at Star Wars Celebration. And let me remind you, kids go to Star Wars Celebration.
Kids, families, you name it. I mean, these are big event. This for Star Wars. It's a big event.
Like, and I don't know if I read the whole article because I was so frustrated when I saw it that basically Star Wars Celebration is turning into a drag show. Is kind of
so okay, yeah. Here's the thing. Let me get that tweet really quick. Because it was not the whole thing. Hang on.
Not the whole thing.
So, that gay Jedi on Twitter, I am humbled, grateful, and over the forest moons to announce that my Star Wars Celebration panel with Pencil Scratch, a couple others, titled Star Wars is a Drag, Exploring Star Wars Through the Art of Drag, has been officially approved. We can't wait to share this with you all. It's just a panel. It's not the whole thing. At the same time, however, because this is being hosted wherever in Europe, so it could be England, could be whatever in the European Union, right? That they're having this little event. So for all we could know, yes, it does take over more than just a panel discussion or whatever.
Yeah,
but
the whole show is going to be a bit,
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But this is the thing. So looking at this, here's the description. The long and rich history of drag has graced the world with entertainment, culture, political action, and so much. Okay, so I don't know what you know of drag, but the main thing that I always knew it as was a sexual fetish.
Yeah.
It was nothing to be normalized or anything. It was always known as a sexual fetish. Yeah. And yet here they are putting this on display like they have been in so many places now. This whole thing gets more ridiculous too. It is no wonder then that today the art form that's quite a loose term, has reached such a cultural significance that the truths and concepts of drag performance permeate countless aspects of our daily lives, including Star Wars.
I don't know who wrote this, but somebody's drunk or high.
They probably are. Some of Star Wars' very best characters embody various core principles of drag. Whether it's Din Djarin's drag as personal expression and self-discovery, Asajj Ventress's drag as queer rebellion, or Padme Amidala's drag as self-empowerment. The relevance of drag even spills out of the pages and screens of Star Wars and flows through the fandom itself through hobbies like cosplay. While taking an introductory look at the history and function of drag in our world today, let's also explore its thematic resonance and influence presence in everyone's favorite far, far away galaxy. Where do you begin with this crap? Because it's like, where are they getting this? Where? Because last I knew,
it's relativism, man. What their truth is, they believe whatever they believe is their truth. So they believe
basically, right? I mean, it's like Din Djarin, Mando. All he does is wear a suit of armor. Last I knew, he wasn't prancing around in a dress.
No, well, you don't know what's under it. He could be wearing a kilt.
He could be, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Under it.
No, and Asajj Ventress's drag as queer rebellion.
Yeah.
Last I knew, even in the Disney continuity, she was straight and hooked up with freaking
She was with old Dooku, bruh.
No, she oh god, the Jedi. What's his name?
Quinlan Voss.
Yes.
I always thought
that was in their own continuity.
I thought she was with old Dooku doing things, and
she had a daddy thing.
Well, that's what I always thought.
Well, and then Padme Amidala's drag as self-empowerment. What again? She wasn't like dressing in male clothing or anything like that. And it's like, if you're talking about her personality, that was just her personality, bro.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with what no. I'm just it hurts the brain, right? It's just like this sort of not. I mean, the term is getting.
It's almost
around,
like.
But sorry, go ahead.
It's like it's almost as stupid as like, well, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball to Travis Kelce, so he wants to be in bed with Travis Kelce because he threw the ball to Travis Kelce. So obviously he has feelings for him.
Yeah, it's these shippers that have really infested a lot of the I guess it'd just be the fandom.
It's just the logic. The logic makes no sense. Like, because Padme was self-sufficient, independent, and whatnot, then she amplifies whatever this guy just said within drag history. Because you're self-sufficient.
Self-empowerment.
Self-empowered. That is it. Self-empowerment is a trait of dragism. I don't know if that's even a word.
According to this.
So it's just stupid. It just like we live in a culture, whatever you believe, whatever your faith is, whatever you believe, like, that's what's so great about this country. But we are living in a day where what has always been right is now wrong, and everything that has always been deemed wrong is now right.
Exactly.
It's if you sit there and you say that this is wrong, you get treated. Basically, you're treated like Wikipedia is treating everybody who goes against the status quo.
Right.
If I go here and say like
simple question,
this is wrong, a drag show within Star Wars is wrong because of the implications that it can have with the kids. Like, the adults can make up their mind. That's fine.
Yeah,
the adolescents can make up their mind if they want. But the kids, that are going to this, like when you are in charge of something as big as Star Wars, you have an obligation. You should morally have. You should always be thinking from a moral standard, like a moral perspective, because you are now influencing those who are easily influenced. So if you're going to sit there and have, whether it's a drag show or it's not a drag show, you're
that saying, a kid's mind is like a sponge, right?
Right. So regardless if it's a
Absorb up
drag show or not a
everything.
drag show, you are now exposing these kids to this. So the kids are now going to think that this is okay and this is right. And this is not about inclusivity or whatever. This, at the end of the day, this is what's morally right and what's morally wrong. Right? Just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean you have to hate that person. Right? For me, like I said, I've been vocal on the show and I don't care. I'm a Christian, right?
Right.
Just because I don't agree or I think that this is wrong does not mean I hate the person that's doing it. No. I don't agree with what they're doing, but I don't hate the person at an individual level.
That was like
that's what they twist, right? Oh, because you don't agree with me.
That was kind of the thing that this is something kind of my brother and I have talked about. It's like they've used these the general like rules of like just like common courtesy and stuff like that against us, because they knew there were certain things that we respected. We just kind of we're like, okay, that's you, whatever. And you just didn't bring it up or whatever. It's like the rules of work. You don't talk about religion, politics, and stuff like that.
Even though those are the most important things to talk about.
Exactly, but that was just it, right? We kind of got hornswoggled into this whole general concept, and it was used against us to then they because they had no qualms about not talking about their nonsense, and it got pushed and it got pushed and it got pushed. You know? And that's effectively what it's become.
I don't know, man. It's just I'm not gonna say if this. It may not be a drag show, but it's a drag panel, and that.
Oh, it's probably gonna turn, like you said, it's probably gonna turn into a show.
So
they'll probably have a show event or something, either after or before or during or whatever. It'll be just that, like you said.
You can be a part of what you want to be a part of. You can believe what you want to believe. That's on you, right? Just because I don't agree with this does not mean I hate the people that are partaking in this stuff. But I don't agree with it, and I don't stand by it, and I don't endorse it. So at the beginning of the show when I said Star Wars is dead, like I think we've come to a point in time where Star Wars is dead. And if it's not dead, it is on life. It is on it.
So this is the way
it's life support.
This is kind of the way I've looked at it, and I think I might have gotten this from somewhere else. I don't know, but I would certainly say
I know what you're going to say. And I think you and I probably talked about this behind
possibly.
closed doors.
It's very possible. So much has been discussed. But the thing is that it's Disney Star Wars. I would say absolutely, it's dead. Dead on arrival. They've killed it, Jim. It's or maybe more like you said, it's on life support. They're doing everything they can to try and keep it alive. It's kind of there, sleeping quietly, I guess. They got it hooked up intravenously for food and everything, and it's there on life support. Mandalorian basically helps still keep it alive. It's kind of like the extra food it gets. That's it.
Yeah.
It's otherwise, yeah, I would say Disney Star Wars, it's on a life support, basically. It's waiting for that final act. How it hasn't come yet in the form of like Kenobi is amazing to me. But Andor kind of propped it back up because they certainly the SEALs, as Rhino loves to put it, came clapping right out, going, "Oh, this is the best thing ever. This is the new best thing in Star Wars. Oh my God, it's so great." Meanwhile, the rest of us were like, "It's boring as dirt."
Yeah.
But then the Bad Batch comes along. Oh, You know, again, clapping seals. They just love it. That, although I haven't seen too much defense of it, but I could be wrong.
Well, let me ask you this: do you ever think that because they maybe unintentionally destroyed Star Wars because what they think, what they believe is legit, and they've actually killed Star Wars, that they now want to kill the EU because it's like, well, we've killed our stuff, so what's the saying? Misery loves company,
right?
Like,
well, then that's kind of my next point is like, I would say like they can do what they want, like they can bring in EU characters and stuff like that, okay, but that's not going to change where those characters were originally at for their stories and stuff like that. All the original stories are still available for you to seek out.
For now,
purchase,
until they own the IT.
Until yes, they
or
like
the IP,
put out re-releases and maybe make changes here and there. But until then, the other copies are still out there for you to hunt down. eBay, whatever, your local bookstore. They are still out there for you to get. And you can still enjoy those original stories that were there. It's tough, but it's out there, and there are even digital backups on websites that you can find too, for especially the comic books. You can still read the comics online through a lot of different sources, so you can still enjoy the EU.
You and I have not made a platform on theories, but I did. I guess I should say I did have a theory a while back about the whole reimagined cover. I thought it was very interesting that they did these reimagined covers and they own the IP. So how far be it for them to change the book details in the book to line up with what they we've
talked
about that, but like I fully believe now that like I don't know legally if they own it, so I don't know if they could come in and change something that John Jackson Miller wrote.
I think some of our points too, when we discussed the difference, especially when we were talking about like the change of the art covers.
Yeah.
I mean, changing the content.
I don't know. Can you do that? Like, I don't know.
Changing the content of the book itself could rely on the authors themselves, I wouldn't put much stock in them holding the line on some of it.
I'm just telling you, Disney has money and money talks.
No, I agree with you.
So, I mean, like you give John Jackson Miller enough money, like, oh yeah, sure, Kenobi, this absolutely happened.
It's very much a possibility that can happen. It's unfortunate. That's why, finding those physical copies is important.
Well, you can. And what's even more so interesting is like when you go to, one of the bigger bookstore chains, like there is a phasing out of the original art covers and kind of a bringing in of the reimagined covers. I just think it's interesting, and like I said, it come down to like, well, we want to save money or like whatever, at the end, like whatever it is. But I just find like you can't. The point I'm trying to make is like if you think these covers are going to be around for a while, you're sorely wrong, because within the last probably 3 months since you and I have been talking, well, you probably longer, I'd say, ever since you and I started talking about the reimagined covers, they're the original art covers are phasing out.
Right, they have been phasing those out slowly but surely.
And you can't sit there and tell me that they're, I don't know, maybe they're cheaper. I don't know, because they're not having to pay royalty. But in my gut, their whole purpose or their sole mission is to retcon Lucas's creation, and how they go about that is what they're doing now, and it's got to end with the original trilogy
sooner or later.
So,
well, and that was the point I remember hearing. Stig Kenobi, he made this point on a stream, was that they're warping. I'm pretty sure it's Stig. They're warping the world around the original trilogy to fit their narrative, basically, and that's and that's what's gone on. That's what we've seen with things like Kenobi and stuff like that. They are warping the world around it and trying to remanufacture everything so it aligns with their new storylines and stuff like that. That's basically what's been slowly but surely going on.
Yeah.
And it could very well still culminate in them redoing the original trilogy. I don't know if they'd go back as far. Huh?
Was Vader a female?
I don't know if Vader got switched to being female. Maybe.
Just asking.
Wouldn't surprise me at this point what's been changed and what is sticking around. You know, that's the funny thing. When I was trying to figure, because I knew we were going to talk about the whole drag event and stuff like that for Star Wars Celebration. I almost put for the title Attack of the Drag or Attack of the Groomers. I was so close.
No,
I might use it. If I clip it out, I might use that as the title though.
Here's the thing that this is 1000% groomers.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is 1000% grooming.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%.
And I will,
especially since it's taking place at a all these things are just taking places at family events and stuff like that. Although, I mean, to be fair, some of them here in the States have been at bars and stuff that for some reason have turned into all age allowances. It's like, yeah, not at all weird.
Graham Allen posted a video. It was a picture of this drag guy on stage that had a microphone in the place of his down in his nether regions, and a child was right by it.
Oh God, I saw that. Yeah,
like these people need to be.
That was his kid. That was the guy's kid, apparently.
What was it? Didn't know.
That was the guy's kid, apparently.
Like, this is not okay. Like in the slightest, this is not okay, and these people need to be locked up. I don't know.
No, it's getting.
There has to be some type of responsibility, like to be doing this to children and around. Like, I don't know, man. That's just my personal opinion.
Like my question has become: how far does it have to go till there is some actual repercussions for this?
There won't be. This is the culture that we live in, and it's.
Wow, you're even more black pilled on it than I am. I'm more like, how much farther is it going to get, pushed down everyone's throat till it finally, explodes in a.
People need to not be complacent and need to stand up. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Everybody, we live in a culture of, well, we can't offend our neighbor because, we've got to, we need to love
thy neighbor. They weaponize that. They weaponize that one too.
Yes, but
to the point of where you aren't supposed to have any, I don't know.
If you stand up against your neighbor and say something against them, then you don't love them. Is what I mean. And so it's better to sit there, be complacent, and not say anything because you won't offend anybody.
Right.
So unless,
but it kind of goes against it takes a village, right? I mean, the old saying was it takes a village to raise a kid, and that was the thing that was very effective is that they killed the village. It's no longer the strong roots communities and stuff like that. It's all about
it makes it
the hyper individual.
Well, it makes it harder too because if you go against the status quo, they cancel you, and everybody's afraid of cancel culture because they make it they make it very to where if they cancel,
and that's where basically it's funny because like my brother and I have talked about this is like we have a social credit system.
Yeah,
these cancellations, you go against the narrative of whatever of whomever. And suddenly you've lost job, bank accounts, whatever. Yeah. I mean, we've seen some crazy shit happen all over this stuff, even small stuff, petty stuff. But that's just it. We've already gotten our own social credit system.
Yeah, so that's why
messed up as it is.
So I think there are people that are standing up against it, but again, they're getting chastised for it.
Right.
It is no longer It is no longer Republican versus Democrat. It's no longer conservative versus.
Well, it's people versus people at this point.
But yeah,
done a very fine job.
It's ideology versus ideology, or it's
Yeah.
it's ideology versus belief, or whatever, however you want to say it. So,
well, I mean, look at what Gina Carano got canceled over for basically putting out the point of look what it can take. Well, look what can happen when a government turns its people on its people.
Yeah,
I mean, that was the whole point. That was the whole point of her sharing that, was that, and we've seen it through, communist regimes and stuff like that. It turns its people on its fellow people. That's effectively what's been going on for some time
and that's
here
what
in
they
the States.
want. They want this. People that are behind this, 1000%, because it's divisive,
right?
So I don't know. I wonder. This has been going on. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, though. What I said earlier, what has always been deemed right is now wrong, and the new wrong is the new right. This has been going on for a long time. This isn't just within a couple months.
No, this isn't something new.
This is culturally. This is a strategic attack on. Not even an attack, but I mean, it's strategic. This has been a long. How do you change a culture? How long does it change to really change a culture? It's over time. And how do you do that? Bit by bit, right? You can't do it overnight.
It's the boiling frog, right?
Yeah, 1000%.
Dialing it up slowly but surely,
yes.
Slowly but surely.
It's like you can akin it to what Palpatine did. Over time, Palpatine. I mean, there's things that Palpatine did over the course of his whole, from when he was training under Plagueis to when he became emperor, right?
Yeah.
He just didn't do it overnight. Could he have? Sure, probably, maybe. Once he established all that power. But yeah, I think that is a 1000% correct analogy, is the boiling frog.
Yep.
And then you get to the point where you can't get out. You realize that you can't get out and you're doomed.
Yeah, you're done for. You're already in the stew.
So it's just really just like I said, man, have your whatever you want to believe, that's fine. If you want to identify with a rock, that's fine. It doesn't make you a rock, right? You say, well, I'm a robot. Well, okay, in your head you can be a robot. You're not a robot. You're either man or female. That's it. Right?
Yep.
So that's fine.
Dang it. I wanted to clip. I meant to clip something.
What'd you mean to clip?
It was, and they mentioned it on the space thing, which was, have you seen Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and there's the little boy.
They don't make those shows anymore. Those movies.
No, it was the little boy that basically goes up to Arnold and just says, boys have penises, girls have vaginas. He's like, thanks for the tip, and it's like, yeah, that's as simplified as you need it to be. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter. It surfaced. It was Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, effectively saying that too. I wonder if I could find the art. I think they had an article on it too. Hang on, because he was even talking. He's either on. Oh God, I wish I had saved it. Because he even kind of talks about it on a talk show. Yeah, thank you. I got some confirmation back up. Rhetorical Thrills seen that clip too. I gotta find it. Hang on. It's probably gonna be. Okay, yeah. Here, I just found. Sorry, he was on Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show. Oof, 1980.
Are there?
Oh, did I share sound?
Yeah, you did. I heard
you heard it. Okay. but
right. But no, I mean,
but no, I think it's a very. I mean, he makes it very clear. Boys are boys, girls are girls. That's the way
Johnny Carson. You know, you'll never have another talk show host like that. I mean, I think there'll never be another Johnny Carson, but you know,
no, a lot of these old legends, you know, we're not going to get replacements for.
I mean,
the replacements we got are pale in comparison.
No, I mean, one of the one guy that it's probably nostalgia, but Jay Leno was good. I enjoyed Jay Leno.
Never watched a lot of him.
My dad did, Jay Leno, and what was the other guy? Irish guy. Can't even think of his name now. Just recently retired. Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. I did catch some of O'Brien's stuff. His was good.
But yeah, Carson, he was good, man. And that's very true. What Mr. Rogers was saying. So I think that's Mr. Rogers, right?
Everybody that was Mr. Yeah, good old Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Life lessons, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing. Like these old shows and stuff like that we grew up on as kids. Generally, very much like that. Just kind of giving those life lessons, and even before that, like my it's like a lot of them were really hokey and stuff like that. But they used to have a lot of old PSAs on. You'd think like very basic stuff, but for some people, they just kind of need that extra instruction that might come from a video. And there was a lot of those back in the day of grooming, not that I like God, I'm forgetting the word now, but hygiene and stuff like that. Combing your hair, how you take a shower, and stuff. Just like these little life PSAs and stuff like that. And I think there is something to be said for those, as corny as some of them were and stuff. I think for some, it's like you kind of need that again, especially for some of these new generations coming up, because what was it I say? That's what I've been hearing recently too. Is like, even though we have like the Gen Zers or whatever, even though they grew up in the height of all this technology, they wouldn't know how to go to a website and install a basic computer application, a computer program. They're dumb to it because all they're used to is their smartphones, the tablets and stuff like that, the quick instant access. But you throw like a CD at them and tell them install this, they're left dumbfounded.
Oh yeah, a floppy disk.
Or a floppy disk or something like that. Or
what do you want me to do with this?
Or download WinRAR, download 7-zip, something like that.
For
some of them, it's just
download some LimeWire.
Exactly. It's
you can
just basic things.
You can go to Apple. You can go to the Apple Store or Apple Music and download your music. Well, when we had to literally be afraid of getting a Trojan horse over every song, like downloading Chameleon, what's this? They see me rolling. Downloading a song. You're basically playing Russian roulette. Like, am I going to get a virus, or am I going to get the song, or am I going to download this video? Am I going to get this movie, or am I going to get porn? Like, what am I going to get? Like, am I going to get Pirates of the Caribbean, or am I going to get Captain Jack and
Yeah.
Oh, LimeWire.
But it's funny, man. It's like, it really is, like I said earlier, the reality that we knew, the things that we knew to be true have been rejected, and they are substituting this new reality that is just completely bonkers to the rest of us.
Growing up, there was a point in time where I think I wanted to be a dinosaur. I thought cool. But that's the most outlandish thing ever. I never once thought, like, I don't know, dude. It's just, but it doesn't help when you've got people that are basically affirming that you can do something when you can't.
Something that is as medically harmful and permanent and dangerous as these procedures that some of these people go through.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, putting drag aside is like, this whole thing of you can be whatever.
It's like,
oh God.
It's like Fracture wants to be a car. And I tell him, like, no, like, yeah, that you can totally do that. Like, just go, you sit in the car and close the door, turn the engine on, and just feel like you're the car.
And feel one with the car.
Feel one with the car, and you'll become a car. Like, yeah, you can absolutely become a car if you want. You want to be a car, you be the best car you can be. You wanna honk and toot, you 1000%. I'll be right there to cheer you on. You're a car. You're never gonna be a car because you're a human. Like,
I am.
It's
very
like,
much so.
This one lady was like this. I need to find the video, and I should have clipped it. But this lady, I think, is in California, and you can relate. But she went up. She went to up against the school board, and she dressed up as a cat. And there's a teacher who was a male who was dressing as a female and was going into so she was at the gym, and she saw this teacher that was who is a male who goes by a female, went into the boys or girls bathroom. I think it went into the girls bathroom, and she called the police, and the police didn't do anything because it's like, well, this is a sensitive subject, and but this guy is on the school board in California, and she went before the board and dressed up as a cat, and she's like, my name is so and so, and I'm a cat. See, I look like a cat. I lick myself. I'm a cat. Who here in this room thinks I'm a cat? And nobody raised their hand. And she basically is like, well, that's of course nobody raised their hand in the room because everybody knows I'm not a cat. And this guy's not a female. And this man who dresses up as a female is allowed to go into the restroom at the gym, at the kids' restroom at a gym, and not get, it was I should clip it and be the first clip I can find. But it's like, that's the thing. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, it's been
70 years ago, 80 years ago, somebody would have got beat up.
Well, it's certainly like it is.
Maybe not beat up, but somebody would have been called out. It would not have been acceptable.
Well, when you close the mental institutions and let out the crazies, look what happens,
Yeah.
I mean, we basically don't have those institutions. If anything, there should have been a focus for mental health over, yes, you are whatever your delusion tells you you are. You are that. No, it should have been.
You release all the people that are holding a pound of weed. You keep all the people that got caught with a pound of weed in jail, and you're going to let all these other people out. And to your point, 100%. It's because we didn't focus enough on mental health, and we're letting these people go.
Yep.
We're letting these people go that have been arrested 32 times for child molestation out on bail because we think that they can be like, and
they can be rehabilitated. Gosh darn it.
In public. Like, somebody told me one time, and this is bringing my law enforcement perspective to the table, in jail, there's a code of honor. There's a code of honor and code of ethics in jail, believe it or not. And one thing they don't, there's two things that they don't agree with.
They do not like the child lovers.
Yeah. I think who explained it was like, I don't know if it's killing the women or raping. It was something that had to do with women, but the number one is anything that has to do with child molestation. They do not. You will not survive.
No.
Why? Children can't defend themselves.
Right.
And we're out here telling them that they can be whatever they want. They can basically be a rock.
Well, and that's what it's hilarious is that there's been some of these screwballs on Twitter. They'll find like a picture of a kid that's holding a gun and stuff like that. When there's more there's more there than, and they trying to go, oh, well, this is grooming too, right? And like people point out, no, that's the kid that's being instructed on how to, use and hold a fire. Oh no, it's usually been videos. So it's like that's a kid that's been trained, basically taught and trained to use a firearm against you weirdos, against the people that would try and molest them and everything. That's also, it's not only it's getting that training, that life lesson, and also a respect for a tool that is potentially very dangerous.
I'm to the
and
point
learning
where
to respect something like that. That's the whole point. That is something that's very also ingrained in American culture. Is we love our guns.
Oh yeah, cancel culture goes both ways, because I've been honestly thinking about, because I have Disney Plus, man. I have Disney Plus, so I can watch all these ridiculous shows. But I'm to the point where it's like they're going down a path that it's kind of like Padme said to Anakin, like,
you're going down a path I can't follow. Yeah,
and it's like, boy howdy, do I have a love for Star Wars. But there's 2 Star Wars on the front, right? There's Lucas Star Wars, and then there's Disney Star Wars, and I want nothing to do with Disney Star Wars. But it's when you sit back and you connect, when you really sit back and you connect the dots, you can see where they're taking this. And grooming is not a political term. Grooming is not a subjective term. It is 1000% what people do, and that's what's happening. You don't believe me? Dive deep and look at Celebration. Go to Celebration and be a part of it.
Go to your celebration in Europe, and you'll see some grooming.
I'm very curious to see the layout of the show.
Well, you know what really just also kind of chaps my ass with a lot of this stuff is that it's become such a perversion of language. And language is a very important tool for us in communication and expression and stuff like that. But it's become such a perversion because, you can look at it. This is kind of like, I kind of hesitate from throwing around the term groomer, because it in a time was a term that was, it was just used as a description of, yes, you were maybe instead of like saying you're being prepared for a job, you're being groomed for this job, this position, stuff like that. It was used in a much more innocent way. Now it's over time, I should say, not now, over time, it got used for new applications, I guess. But I mean, that's like it is for a lot. But I also feel like some words get hijacked.
Well, it's
words
very interesting.
Get grabbed and
this whole is very interesting because like the whole thing with grooming is Christianity's not going away. It's not. Other people's beliefs probably aren't going to go away. But if you can, it's kind of like we talk about, it's like they're waiting for all of us dinosaurs to die, right? Because once we die, nobody will be able to challenge the status quo, right? So with those of us who are against this type of stuff that they're doing, they're now grooming the younger generation to accept what they're doing, so they won't have to worry about us, right? Because we're eventually going to die off, right?
Sooner or later.
And who is going to be there to help reel these kids back, right?
Right.
That's what I think's happening. They're grooming the next generation so they don't have to worry about us, so they can grow up and believe that what they're pushing is correct and true and all this and that, and they won't have to worry about us, and they won't have to worry about them going against the status quo because they've been indoctrinated at a young age. That's what's happening.
Absolutely.
You're telling them like, no, this, and you're not even going to tell them that this was ever wrong in the first place. Like, oh no, this has always been right. And we have to be accepting of everybody, and we have to love everybody. And if you don't love everybody, then you're a racist, a bigot, and probably a Christian. Because, of what they believe. So I didn't mean for the show to get political, but this stuff really pisses me off. It really pisses me off.
I'm always more than happy to go off into different territory. Absolutely.
If we were just like, maybe we'll come to the day where we'll have like 15 different shows. We'll have 15 different. We'll have like a gaming show. We'll have a chess show, and we'll have a whatever. we'll have a political show, but like this stuff needs to be talked about. And this isn't subjective, right? This is objectivity,
right?
Yeah.
And
I think what pisses me off, if we were talking about this, I would still be as passionate. I would be passionate nonetheless if we were talking about like this whole like this topic, right? The ideology, the woke agenda. I would still be engaged, but I'm more so pissed because they're using Star Wars as a vessel to go to push it, right? Because everybody loves Star Wars. There's probably 2%.
That's just the funny thing.
I watch. I do have a metric I looked at. I think it's like 2% of Americans actually like Star Trek, something like that. I looked it up. So the other 98% are Star Wars fans.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said it was a statistic I looked up is like 2% of Americans actually like Star Trek, and the other. I'm just kidding. Hopefully Tim's not listening and Greg's not listening, but no. Everybody loves Star Wars, man. Really, I mean, generally speaking, like Star Wars is iconic. Everybody loves it, and they're using what better way to push what you want to push than through something that everybody loves. Because if you can say like, oh yeah, Star Wars has always been about this, like, and then see somebody can sit there like, oh. Wait, you're telling me this has been in Star Wars all the time? I love Star Wars. How did I miss this? Well, surely it's got to be okay. If Lucas did it, surely it's got to be okay, right? No, that's not the case. But they're using it nonetheless because takes the sting away of.
Well, and even to your point, like everyone has loved Star Wars. I mean, go back in time to even Return of the Jedi. Opening night, audience reactions. I mean, you have a wide array of people even within this.
We're just fanatics out here waiting on Return of the Jedi. 3 years in the making. We're waiting for this.
Some people don't idolize Darth Vader like I do. See, I want him to get Luke.
I'm kind of thinking that guy might have been a little on the level.
That Luke will destroy.
But that's everyone. I mean, god dang, look at all that. Look at all those people. I mean, it wasn't just it. I mean, the same people that claim they hate gatekeeping so much are just trying to then gatekeep everyone else out of it. To as you again say, to your point,
it's always two-sided. It's always two-sided, but the side of the coin that they hold is the right side of the coin, but it's the same. It's the same coin. So your stance, the stance that they hold, they say, I don't even know how I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so stupid. It's like the very thing. See, I'm ripping my mic out because I'm so pissed right now. It's like what they do, what they call cancel culture. Cancel culture is not exclusive to one side. It goes both ways.
The problem I've had too is people that go, "Oh, I'm against it." No, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
You want to cancel me? That's fine.
I'll be more than happy to utilize it against you as you would utilize it against me.
I'll give my $100 a year to Daily Wire. At least Daily Wire is trying to come up with good content for kids. Daily Wire, say what you want to say about Daily Wire. Like there's some people, like I may not agree with 100%, but at the core, like they're trying, they invested, I think like $1 billion, a couple million, $1 million? It was like either a couple million or some astronomical amount of money. They invested that money into programming to make for like kids. So they basically creating a streaming platform that will rival Disney Plus.
Right.
Now, is it ever going to rival Disney Plus in its entirety? Probably not, because I think for me, subjectively, I like older Disney movies that I grew up on.
Well, the thing that when it comes down to it too is that Disney is a long established brand, and while yes, you'll have people that'll jump ship and stuff like that, there will still always be those people that are diehard Disney.
Yeah.
No matter what, and there's this unfortunately, I'll say unfortunately, some things you can't change.
Yeah.
And you can present as much truth and everything to a person. They're not gonna be swayed so much, and they're gonna stick to habits. And part of the whole thing, like with streaming services and stuff like that too, is kind of habit forming. People have a habit of just being able to easily boot up something like Disney Plus, Netflix, or what have you, and be able to watch whatever it is they want to watch, and it just makes it easy. We talked about it earlier, the comfort and stuff like that, convenience. But I mean, I can give Daily Wire, I suppose, some kudos for that aspect of trying to create.
Well, nobody else is going against Disney, but that's the thing, though. Like, nobody else has come out and actually said, "This is our mission. We don't agree with them, so this is what we're doing." Like, Netflix isn't doing it.
No, Netflix is just on board with the same level of programming as
who else is challenging the status quo? Like, Disney owns Hulu. ESPN doesn't count because it's a sport. And by the way, did you know ESPN is raising their prices from $59 a year to $99? I will not be updating.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just got an email. Like, hey, your subscription is now going from $59.
Well, I mean, the sports, even the freaking sports ball teams are pushing all the same bullshit as the likes of Disney and Marvel and Lucasfilm and DC, you name it. It's all being pushed by these big corporations and stuff like that. And the sports ball teams aren't any different. It's unfortunate too. I was trying to get into, once upon a time I was trying to start watching hockey. Glad I didn't really get into it. They've been getting just as knee bending as the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll be canceling my subscription Disney Plus, just so you're aware, because I'm not going to pay $100 for Disney Plus and $100 for ESPN. But to your point, everything. I mean, everybody's bending the knee. But yeah, nobody's challenging the agenda. Nobody's challenging the status quo that everybody's pushing. Say what you want about Daily Wire. You can agree with them or you don't. They're at least challenging it. They're standing on some morals. Right, because
sometimes my thing is with some of these groups is that they're standing against them, but they just don't have the foot as on the gas pedal
as they need to,
as they are. They just kind of like gently have their foot on the brakes, just a little bit, not a lot. We don't want to seem like extremists here, so instead of bringing things to a halt, they just kind of lighten up on it. They just have a little bit on the brakes.
Yeah. You got to go the killing blow. You can't take your time with this.
Yeah, certain things just need to bring the axe down.
I thought I saw something. It was a tweet that Disney was looking at selling content to rival. I gotta find the tweet. It was something like they were going to do a licensing deal with other people or selling some stuff to like other companies to make money. I've got to find the tweet because I saw it earlier in the week, but it's like, yeah. I just like, and that so when I saw that, that's what it was. So that's what the tweet said, and then the guy was like, "Hey George, if you wanted to maybe come back and buy Star Wars out from under, because that's what they were talking about. They were talking about selling like certain like things under Disney, like little micro umbrellas. But you know how Disney at the whole has subsidiaries like Pixar and Star Wars and all that. So it was talking about like selling portions of Star Wars to like other companies. To make a profit, and somebody
they've kind of done that with Marvel in lending out certain characters to the Japanese for manga, because manga has been kicking their asses and DC's asses in sales and stuff like that. So even though the two companies have been lending out their characters to other places to hopefully try and generate some buzz because they're working at home. Sorry.
No.
Hey there, Script Tripper.
Oh, Script.
He says the next Pixar movie is about. Are you being for real or are you just joking? I got to know.
Trans.
There's a part of me that says you're probably right, but at the same time, I'm.
Script never lies. Script never lies. Known him long enough where
he's been trolling a little bit on Twitter.
You call it Twitter. I think it's more just telling the truth.
Oh God, poor Pixar. They have been.
Yeah, I don't know. We get Script's thoughts on the Bad Batch. I think he was asking if anybody was watching it. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw he had posted about that.
Script, what is your opinion on the whole celebration thing? Have you seen any of this announcement?
Good God.
Yeah, I need to DM him. I don't know. It's also, I go back. I can't believe this because I was ripping on Andor so bad, but it's like one of the greatest. What has now become one of the greatest moments of that show is like, why must everything be so sad and boring? That's where we're at. Everything.
Oh, sorry.
Bad.
I accidentally got muted. No, I was about to say it's so funny how even with a Disney product now, it's like they had something that you could actually go to for a go-to line, and it's just that. Why does everything have to be so sad and boring? Who would have thought we'd get some truth out of a character like that?
I mean, there's at least two shows where I've got some solace out of it. You know, it was Book of Mando and that one line from Andor.
Right.
Was Andor, but from, like why and what was it? What I can't even remember his name. What was his name? The husband's name. Mon Mothma's husband.
I don't recall.
What was his name? It was from him nonetheless. I always liked him though. Not a lot of people. I was like, he was probably my favorite character. Was the husband, not Cereal Boy?
What? You didn't like Captain Cereal?
I don't know if there's one other thing I wanted to go over. Probably not.
Hang on. Perrin Firtha. Perrin.
Old Perrin.
Yeah.
There's one thing. I don't know. Do we have enough time to go over one more thing?
We can go. We can. I mean, shit. It don't matter. We can do whatever we
want.
Want
to go over it. So it was the whole drama between Favreau and
that's silliness. Yeah.
And then we go over this. Then we can end on the modded game.
Yeah.
But I think this is absolutely hilarious. I put it in the Discord.
Yeah, let me just go there and grab the. There it is. Okay. I'll have to try and find the clip of Perrin going. So why does everything have to be so?
You need to get a DJ board. Can you just do? I'm going to. I saw that you could get a DJ board for 75 payments of $99.99.
All right, so the Civil War continues, right?
Yeah.
Mandalorian director Jon Favreau reportedly threatened to quit Lucasfilm if Kathleen Kennedy didn't stop meddling in his projects. A rumor has recently sparked that Mandalorian director Favreau will leave the production of Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy won't stop meddling with his plans. The news came from Overlord DVD, aka Doomcock, on YouTube, who also mentioned instances where Kennedy and her team incessantly interfered with the director's vision from the show. Overlord DVD reports that Kennedy orchestrated Gina Carano's exit from the show and canceled Rangers of the New Republic, where the actress was supposed supposed to appear. She was also involved in several changes in the creative side of various Star Wars franchises. Jon Favreau is rumored to quit. A YouTuber mentioned that Kennedy was mastermind in the revision of the scripts for the Book of Boba Fett, making sure that Grogu reunites with Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin, or Din Jarhead, which is, I love Tusk and Bob for that.
Yeah. Jarhead, that's good.
For real. And no, what is it? Was he?
The Star Wars Celebration. I don't know. If that's it.
So yeah, Script Trooper to get you caught up really quick. Star Wars Celebration in Europe 2023 for this year. They're gonna have a drag panel and what it means for drag and stuff like that. Because apparently Din Djarin, Asajj Ventress, and Padme Amidala all took part in drag. Go figure.
According to whoever wrote that article, I don't know who did. Or that tweet. I don't know if it was a tweet or article.
Anyway, so Kennedy's alleged next move against Favreau was corrupting the Book of Boba Fett. She couldn't directly interfere with his production, but Kennedy is clever, devilishly clever. And yet, we went over the video of Tamura Morrison talking about Book of Boba Fett and his character and making the point about how, hey, I feel like Boba Fett is talking too much. Can I actually, be a little more of the actual character and maybe be a little more quiet and stuff like that? And he said that Favreau told him, who wasn't even there apparently, but was doing this over a Skype call or whatever, just do what's in the script. There you go. So I don't know if that's meant to give a hint of there being animosity, but from as far as we could tell, no. Tamura Morrison wasn't taking cues from Kennedy or anything, certainly. He's taking it from Favreau. So,
yeah.
The commenter said when Kennedy knew that Robert Rodriguez planned to introduce the Vespas into Book of Boba Fett, Favreau despised the idea, yet we still got them. She took it into her hands and talked to the marketing department to convince them that it was a good selling point. Favreau, dismayed and annoyed, threatened to quit The Mandalorian and go work on Ahsoka instead. Oh no, don't go.
Yeah.
As a result, Favreau was disgusted. He said, F it. Let them do whatever the hell they want. I'm going to go off and work on Ahsoka in peace, which I thought was mainly Filoni's project. Anyways, why would he go and work on somebody else's project?
Well, whose project really is it at this point in time? Like,
I get it,
they're both cut from the same cloth.
So the rumors started to spread like wildfire, and it destroyed the narrative so much that the management had to call Favreau back to fix it. However, it was too late, and the only thing they could do was cut some lines from the script. The Book of Boba Fett had so many goddamn problems. I don't think it was this feuding war between Kennedy and Favreau.
Yeah. You never know, though, right? Though
I get what we've talked about this before, right? It's like to be a fly on the wall at Lucasfilm to see what goes on there sometimes to get the real inside story,
But here's the interesting that I think Kathleen Kennedy is 100% how Favreau describes her. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's running the show, but can she really afford, like, if there was animosity between Favreau and Filoni, can she really afford to fire them both or fire John? Or like, she's not going to, like,
no, because basically they're the two people bringing in money for them.
Right. So despite how you might feel about Favreau or Filoni, like it's like, you're not going to do it. You're not going to fire them. Who are you going to get to replace them? You can't even find Joey Harold. Is he going to be the guy that runs? He can't even remember that Kenobi knew. I say it all the time. Like he was unaware that Kenobi knew Anakin was Vader. Like these are the people. Like are these the people you're going to replace? Like say what you want about Favreau and Filoni. At the very like they have some type of.
At the end of the day, yeah.
At least, probably more so Favreau because of I'm familiar with the stuff he's done with Marvel, but like they have at least some type of wherewithal for. I agree. I think Kennedy's probably 100%. She's probably micromanaging over this.
Well, and that I think
hear about her like being like off stage or
there
whatnot.
was more evidence for it when it came to things like Solo, Star Wars story, because of like the direct and Rogue One, because of it going through directors and stuff like that. So, I saw the evidence there. We haven't seen the evidence with this, in my opinion, and I think it was either Raging Rhino or on the spacing. They Tim had pointed it out, that or Tuscan Bob. That there are there's the videos out there of them doing interviews, Dan and Dave and or John and Dave, that they love working together. They have they have
the two of them.
They have no animosity. They have no animosity towards Kathleen Kennedy. It's all sunshine.
They enjoy working with Kathleen, or they enjoy working with each other.
All of the above.
Yeah. I don't know.
So either they're acting and putting on a show, or it's true, or
they might. This is my subjective opinion. They may enjoy working with each other, but I don't think they enjoy working. How can you enjoy working with Kathleen Kennedy? Are you serious? How many times has she?
There's been some reason that Spielberg and Lucas always kept her around as producers on all their freaking movies, practically.
I don't know. Well, I mean, she's actually worth her salt. I don't know, man. Here's the thing, like, when we talk, like I said, you're more of an Indiana Jones guy than I am. Like, in what capacity did she serve on Indiana Jones? Like, what did she do?
Again, producer. She's
okay,
like
and
nothing but producers on a lot of
How much did
stuff.
she actually produce versus
I don't know. How much did
Spielberg? Oh, I'm just breaking the question. Like, you may have the title.
I get you.
It's like you have a title of a manager, but all your people do the work for you. So, are you a good manager, or is it your people?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's the question to ask, right?
Hell's bells. Ian McGregor was a producer on Kenobi, and even Script. I found out from Script because Script was talking about this a while back. Like, he was a producer. How dare?
Right.
Or was he executive? Or I can't remember if he was an executive producer or
something like that. Yeah. I remember going over it.
He's a producer, and he lets this stuff happen. So, how good are you? Clearly not. If you're letting that stuff happen, I'd say the same thing about Kennedy. It
was always the question on what does a producer really do at the end.
We've got to figure out how to get some Ganochi glasses and infiltrate. We need to fly to LA to figure out how to this is what we need. Someone told me, all you need to infiltrate something, because nobody questions anybody who has a clipboard when they go into a place. I think it was on the movie Tenet. He's like, nobody questions as long as you have the doctor's like, you can get far with a vest and a clipboard. So we just need to get some glasses, some traffic vests, and 2 clipboards and walk in. Like, oh yeah, we're from Club 33. We're here to whatever.
Maybe we just need to start alternate channels, become Disney shills, and try and get in that way.
Oh, you mean like Star Wars Theory?
Yeah, exactly.
God, how many? I don't know, dude. Maybe we'll do this channel and a gaming channel and I don't know, dude. It'd be a fly on the wall though, like to sit like.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to. It'd be interesting. So Dim Jarhead in Grogu's reunion in season 3 was not Favreau's original plan. Apparently, he initially wanted Grogu to go with Luke and train to become a Jedi. Overlord commented, "It was a heartbreaking and final episode." What? I think we got a Disney shill. Mandalorian season 2 and proved that Favreau had a master plan for all his series, and it was a damn good plan. What plan was that?
Kathleen Kennedy's plan.
Yeah. But Kennedy was too keen on using Grogu as a marketing campaign, and she should not afford to lose Baby Yoda. According to the YouTuber, it is the height of stupidity that ruined all of Favreau's plans. He believes this continuous meddling will eventually get on Favreau's nerves and will walk away sooner or later. An anonymous source. Getting tired of anonymous sources, I'll tell you what. Relayed that to Overlord DVD that Favreau is beyond frustrated and was ready to quit. The director approached Bob Chapek, told him that he is finished and does not care about the contract. Favreau reportedly said, "You can give it to Kathy and let her hang it on her wall and watch $1 billion franchise burn." That franchise has already been well burned. It's been burning for a long time. Chapek asked Favreau if there is anything he could do to make the director stay. And as expected, Favreau made himself clear that he wanted to do the third season the way he envisioned it. But we've already seen Grogu well present in it. Wouldn't he have retconned it? I mean, we already know that Disney is consistent at being inconsistent with their story. Why would he decide not to just say, ignore Book of Boba Fett? Just stick to Mandalorian season 1 and 2. That's all you need to pay attention to. They could have done it.
Yeah.
To that 2021, Favreau has nothing but admiration for Kennedy in the second episode of Disney Gallery, the Mandalorian series. He claimed to be incredibly lucky working with Lucasfilm and Kennedy, and that they are very supportive of one another. He also added, Kathy Kennedy, we brought in very early on this conversation, and Kathy, first and foremost, is a great producer, and producers figure out ways to make things happen that are creatively exciting to the storyteller.
Nothing has been creative like
the director commended the entire team, especially Kennedy, during the entire episode. He also said that producers like her understand the significance of telling great stories and doing them the right way. Whether the rumored conflict between Favreau and Kennedy rings true or not, fans hope this controversy won't affect the quality of the series. Mandalorian season 3 will arrive on Disney Plus on March 1st, 2023. Yeah. So, Civil War, man. They're totally gonna do it. They're at each other's throats and stuff. Yeah. See, I remember checking out Overlord DVD, Doomcock, whatever you want to call him, once upon a time ago.
Is he legit or is he not legit? Is he?
See, the problem is, I think he's gotten too far down this rabbit hole of being kind of the rumor monger, and unfortunately, it's taken over everything. And he just, for all we know, some of his sources could be legit, and some of them could just be people at Lucasfilm potentially effing with the guy, or just people in general effing with the guy. Because he reports on everything, and it's like, yeah, you can spout out enough BS, and what do they say? Broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, of course you're gonna have some moments where you might ring true, but it's like otherwise, it's a dime a dozen. He's gotta. But I mean, hey, he makes his thing off of it. Script Trooper, she's good at logistics, but has zero creativity. I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a reason for her being on so many goddamn projects. Sentinel, what's up, brother?
Dude, Sentinel, haven't seen you in
a while.
Long time.
Yeah. Rick McCullum was a producer who worked for George. He would have done better with Star Wars than KK. I know for damn sure the lightsaber choreography would be on point because he hired Nick Gillard. Okay. Yeah. Nick Gillard has also just dropped out of Star Wars completely, which is unfortunate. That's why lightsaber fights look so shitty. Rhetorical Thrill. I enjoyed his shtick for a little bit, but it was the same stories over and over, and I lost interest. That's towards Doomcock. Yeah, that was the same feeling for me. I mean, he had a cool presentation. His cool presentation and stuff like that. I give him that for sure. But it's the same rumors flying about, just like it is. Kathleen, for like 3 years, Kathleen Kennedy was supposed to be ousted by October, and she's still there. The civil war within Disney Lucasfilm between Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and against Kathleen Kennedy and everything. It's like, no, there's not, because we haven't seen nothing of it. There would be, and when you got nothing but if there was some real fire in the building, you'd think there would be people like actually out saying it. Because I'm trying to remember this channel. It was from back in the day. Oh God, I'm trying to remember the name of the channel now. It's been so long, but it was a little bit at the end or during, again, the old Gamergate days, and the person had on some old like game devs and stuff like that. Now, again, you could question the validity of this. I understand 100%, but basically interviewed people, but they hid their identity, but at least he was talking to somebody on the other end. He had somebody in there that he was talking to and trying to just kind of get some extra information on just what was going on within the industry. We are even getting that with people like Doomcock or even website journalists and stuff like that. They just say anonymous sources, and we're just supposed to take that on face value. When it's just like, come on, you need to give us something a little bit more than just that, because sorry, we've been dicked around so much. It's called I need more than sources say,
Yeah, it just sounds like it's a lot of rumors.
And well, that's kind of the thing too, is that's why I generally when I grab a lot of stuff, and sometimes I'll admit I like to give like an honest, genuine, immediate reaction to articles that we go over. Mm-hmm. So like it is, if anybody that's been listening for a while, they've heard me get tripped up and go, oh, this is just another dumb rumor.
Yeah.
And we'll usually finish the article and stuff like that and go over it. But otherwise, this is called, all right, this was a dumb rumor. Sorry, but nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Because, I mean, it's better to get something that's actual, factual, concrete information on what's going on than just, trust the sources, bro.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. That was the old, I remember that old slogan. But yeah.
Well, I just want to go over that because I thought it was interesting and
no, it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing for sure.
I didn't know it was from Doomcock. I've heard that name. I've heard Tim, I think, mention him, or if tweets. But
apparently, Knights of Melvin, I think, did a Disney shill video on him.
So is it a guy? So don't put stock in what this guy says. Is he a shill?
No, I don't think. I think he's another. I think he's another person that does love Star Wars and really wants there to be something good comes out of it. I think he does like the Mandalorian, so he's kind of on that boat. But like it is, I've never met with the guy personally or anything, but I know a lot of people have gotten tired of the whole shtick. So it's because like I said, it was like a 2 to 3 year thing of, oh, Kathleen Kennedy is gonna be ousted any day now.
Yeah.
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy will be she'll be fired. Her contract ends October. She's out. She's gone. Oh, Nope, he's still there. Getting ready for Indiana Jones 5. Fuck. So, needless to say, it's I think he's kind of trapped himself in the whole being the source for a lot of rumors and stuff like that. It's just been I mean, hey, he makes money off of it. Good for him.
Yeah.
But for some of us, this is called not holding my attention, dude. Sorry. I can only hear how often, this shit's gonna be repeating itself so much. It's called done. Yeah, I'm trying to still remember that channel too. Anyway, so yeah, that is kind of the funny thing about all the little like it is. It would be great to be a fly on the wall for these things for Disney Lucasfilm just to kind of know just what are the inner workings of the place, what sort of conversations are being had.
Yeah. Just so you're aware, this whole spine balloon thing is a joke.
What have you been catching for the spy balloon thing?
Just China's basically saying that it was a civilian balloon, and they're highly upset with the United States for shooting it down after Biden allowed it to go from Alaska to the Carolinas.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a degree of truth to that.
Lord knows if I was president, I would have shot it in Alaska and sent it gift right back to.
Well, yeah, it's like, for all of our money and our military and quote unquote defense budget and stuff like that, and we couldn't even stop a stupid balloon from making it from Alaska down to South Carolina.
Biden's weak. He's God.
He's weak. Our military weak. Everything's weak.
Yeah, this is gonna be our another show. So catch us. This is Saturday Night Sith. Catch us for.
Well, hey, that's why I want us to get our subs on Rumble so we can. I want to start a second show.
I know we're gonna rival.
That show I will call the Fractured Filter, and where we can just talk. It'll be called Talking About Anything, man.
Yeah.
Although I might want to do it as a morning show on my days off. If you're willing to wake up,
you bastard. You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. No, that's when I go to bed.
No, I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't do it that godforsaken early. Jesus.
Every time I send my last
at least 9 a.m. or something.
I send my last tweets at about 3:30 in the morning, and I immediately, as I'm laying my head on my pillow, Fractured will watch.
Because I've just woken up.
He's just woken up for work. I'm like, that's how we communicate. That's the only time that when we communicate at work, but like via text.
I sometimes feel bad. I'm like, I should probably wait just a little bit.
He's like, oh man, I should wait until at least 6 a.m. to like this, so I know he's
I'm like,
but that's how I know. It's like, he's already up at it. There was one time where it's like I said something about like 2:30, like 2 o'clock, and he liked it. Fractured liked it. I was like, man, this is an early morning for him. I know he doesn't have to go to work this early. That's funny. Well, that's all I got. Yeah, this whole just shenanigans. Celebration's a joke. Wikipedia, if you guys are listening, I will expect a block from you. If I don't, I'll be highly upset and offended.
Go and question him about the whole pronouns thing. That'll get you blocked in an instant.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So to wrap it up in a nutshell, episode 6 was again a nothing burger. Doesn't advance the story in any type of way. Gungy makes me feel grungy. Celebration is a joke. # well, for all of us older people, it's actually, for all of us older people, it's £, not my celebration. Star Wars.
Yeah, that was something that they talked about on the spacing, was that the whole the way the conventions used to be and stuff like that. And I made a comment because I watched it on the replay, and I commented on the page, and I said, man, the thing I remember always wanting to go to for the conventions was either like San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't mention E3 because E3 at the time was mainly for journalists
Yeah.
And it took a long time before they ever opened it up to the public.
Yeah.
And by the time it was just like, well, I've got work, I don't have the money or something like that. And it's like making that trip all the way down to LA and stuff like that. Just never could. But those were like 2 conventions I would have loved to have gone to check out. But I'm kind of glad because I didn't get attached to the idea because of how just, ridiculous they've become in terms of scale and just also pricing, and then all these sort of panels that are being taken place there. And it's like, glad I never went.
Yeah. So
just watched from
else?
afar. Now, with a bit of a palate cleanse, I think. Rhetorical, thank you for dropping in. Thank you for watching this long and commenting. Thank you so much. Again, anybody out there listening, go check out our channel on YouTube. Rhetorical Thrill does great reviews.
All of them.
You won't be disappointed.
No, yeah. Rhetorical Thrill. I've followed you on Twitter.
Enjoy
I got
your
you on
dinner.
Twitch. Anybody. Again, Script Trooper's amazing. Thank you, Script, for checking in. Always a pleasure, honor when you come around. Sentinel as well. Been worried about you, man. I haven't seen you. Glad that you came back. Go ahead and follow.
He's been getting kicked off of Twitter.
I know,
he's back
man.
on Twitter, and then he's been mainly on his Instagram page. I follow him over there on Instagram.
I know we put out the links for Script Trooper, but also Sentinel. I see you posting on Instagram. Go give them all 3 a follow. Great stuff.
Yep, there's Script Trooper. I'll have to grab Sentinels, but Rhetorical Thrill from earlier. Boom.
Sentinel, I'm sorry, Script Trooper. Amazing stuff with what you're doing with the sequel trilogy, man. We've talked about it on the show. You're trying to
polish the proverbial turd.
You're trying to make something really good out of nothing, and I commend you for it. So
you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, top notch. And so,
all right,
glad to have you back, man. So yeah, with all further ado, go ahead and play the.
Yeah, let's let me show this off because, like I said, gotta have some positivity every now and then.
Yeah,
I thought this looks really good. All right, like I said, I'll have the links for this in the description as soon as we end all this. I'll slap it in there so you can go and check out the channel and stuff like that. Channel is what is it again? Like it says here, Rupertal. I don't know if I said that right. Anyways, here we go. Dark Forces 2 remake. Now this, look at that. Oh, I'll let it play.
This is very Jedi Outcast. Is this Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah.
What? Of course, in real
So yeah, that's the.
Okay, this is gonna be the dumbest question I ever asked you. Was Dark Forces 2 before? Was it Kyle Katarn before Jedi Outcast?
Yes, that was before Jedi Outcast.
Oh, where do you need?
So you see my bobbing Jedi Kyle Katarn head?
Yeah.
That's him. That's him from Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight.
You download this from Steam. Where do you get this from?
So yeah, on the there's the links here in the YouTube page. He has it set up so you go to either the Discord or the Patreon, which will just take you directly there to the download. Hang on, let me. It'll take you to the download page, and you can go and grab it from the Patreon is the main place you want to go. The Discord that you can go, of course, to get involved with the community and everything like that. But right here, yeah, you can download it. Download version 1.0. The version comes with 2 official levels from the original game, 4 survival levels, a sandbox mode, 3D model viewer, bonus levels for testing, some secrets also included. Apparently, after nearly 3 years of development, the project is finally at a point where I feel ready to share it with you. And you can download it. I'm going to download it and check it out at another point in time. But yeah, let me just go back to that really quick. I mean, so when they talk about remakes, this is the sort of thing I always think about in terms of remakes. Yeah, let me kind of remove that, stop that. Let me get it as just the tab. You don't need to see all my tabs. But this is the sort of thing. Like, it goes from boom, the original game footage, and then boom, new game, new engine, new game, stuff like that. This is the sort of thing I think about for remakes, remasters, or whatever. Keep the levels the same, but just touch them up, and they can be magnifique. I mean, this alone. I mean, just some. I think some of the aliens need a little bit of work, but otherwise, all this is just looking spectacular. This is again where you get passion. Passion projects are probably some of the best. Yeah. Hopefully, they stick with it, because sometimes with some passion projects, you lose steam.
Yeah.
But I mean, just looking at the new visuals, and the only thing I can hope is that they do manage to, if this continues, if they end up building this, is that the lightsaber combat is looking very Jedi Outcast. Thank you, sir. Is looking very Jedi Outcast for some of its combat. I can only hope that they are able to get that style of gameplay for the lightsabers down. It's looking like it. I just, I sometimes get a little nervous with some of these things, because it's just called, is it just gonna be another baseball bat, wiffle ball bat, Nerf bat, whatever bat, sort of thing with the lightsabers. Because the lightsabers, they've just never felt right in any of these other games. They've always been wonky. But here's hoping that, and I mean, this is kind of funny. This is because cut down by Yun at the end there. So there you go. Go check it out. I know I'm going to when I get the chance. It looks really cool. Yeah. So there's, damn, man. I was surprised I found that.
I'm excited to. I need to figure. Yeah. So do you have to? Are you buying it from this guy directly through his Patreon?
Nothing to purchase. It's free to download.
Okay. Well, they need to do the whole game. The whole game?
It's two levels.
Okay.
2 levels, survival levels, 4 survival levels, a sandbox mode, 3D model viewer, and a bonus level for testing, and then some secrets included.
I need to figure out if he's gonna do the whole game.
I can only hope. I can really only hope. So I'm following the person now. If I wasn't already somehow, looks incredible. I'm looking. I'll be happy to. I'm gonna be definitely trimming this out and talking about it and I'll be a cheerleader for sure.
1000%. That's all I got, Aid.
That's all I got too. We got a good one under our belt tonight.
One of these days we'll go as long as Greg and Tim and OG go.
Last time we had old Tuscan Bob, Tuscan and Rhino and Script. We went for a good 3 hours. Just flew right by.
Yeah, it felt like 30 minutes.
Right.
So
So with that, we'll question: are we gonna do some shenanigans tomorrow?
I might be up for some. I might be up for some shenanigans. We'll see.
All right, because you got something waiting for you.
I don't know if I'll do it for a full 2. I might try. We'll see.
All right,
I'll go for the full 2 with the old shoulder, but might give it a go.
So long as we got some, because we've been wanting to continue that, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, catch us tomorrow on our Twitch channels, and I'll also be streaming it here on YouTube. I'll do the restream for both my channels, for Twitch and YouTube. Check us out. We'll be doing Sunday Night Shenanigans. Jay Hitman's Twitch channel is his name here, JH1T Man 187 on Twitch. Go find him. Go sub. Go. Let's do it. And so with that, I say good night. Have a wonderful day, a weekend, whatever it may be. If you are, and thank you if you are catching it on the replay. Please also go and grab our Rumble channel. We got 17 subscribers so far. We need to get a little bit further ahead, boys. I want to be able to do streaming over there. So please help us out. That'd be awesome. And of course, all the goodness over here on the YouTubes. Thank you for anybody that's watched our little clips and streams and stuff like that. It's much appreciated. Thank you. And well, good night. Play it out. Hang on. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? There you are.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete